getting dressed up in shades of yellow.
Hello, welcome to the Lovely Job podcast, taking you behind the scenes of bridal with Miss Bush. I'm Leah Spicer-Pownall, the marketing manager of Miss Bush, and this is...
I'm Emma Marshall.
I'm Miss Bush, boss lady.
Oh, I don't know. We all know Rosie's the boss, basically. I've just got the most shares.
Okay, how was your weekend?
Good, long, tiring. So I went to Freya's launch party at Fenny Showroom on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to zip home from work for that. So hobnobbing with the great and good of Southsea. You did a great job of putting that reel together. I thought my filming was a bit bad, actually, to be fair.
I know. I was supposed to go. I had my camera ready and everything, and then I had a bit of a work crisis right before I left, and so I was like, I've got to do this. Did it, and then the time had jumped up on Google Maps, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to make it now. It literally added an hour on. I don't know what had happened, but yeah, I was like, oh, okay. So I didn't make it. Didn't take my fancy camera. So I got Dropboxed 12 little clips from your iPhone.
Yeah, I know. Sorry about that.
I did my best. I chopped them up. I sped them up in places, slowed them down in other places, and
it was really busy and really hot in there, so it was actually quite hard to get
actually
pictures.
Film it, yeah, without actually just getting your camera in someone's face,
But it was, I mean, I think also you might not it was very Southsea, so it was great. I caught up with Leah from Love Southsea. I met the woman who runs Southsea Folk. I think his name might be Louise as well, actually. I saw Amy from Lo and Behold Wedding Planning
fairs.
And fairs, yeah, and her mate who runs a bridal shop called Velvet Queen, whose name again escapes me. Chatted to the local MP, Stephen Morgan.
Oh, yeah.
Committed to helping fight nationalism. And yeah, so I think it was, and also we took David Weston, who's a local couturier, he's got a little kind of bridal shop, does absolute bespoke one-offs for people. So we took him for dinner in your place. Yeah, absolutely. And so we had Thai food. So it was quite a late night for a Friday when you have to get up and go to work. So
yeah.
And then I went to Marshy's niece's Lauren's 30th birthday dinner, family birthday dinner. So I went straight out from work, which I don't like. It was a 75-mile drive home or something.
Ooh.
So maybe a little bit less, but it was definitely a long drive home. So my weekend's been quite sort of chill. Also, she didn't get engaged. She's just turned 30 and she's just come back off holiday with a boy that she's just moved in. They're talking about buying a house. I was ready there with the best wedding wisdom, and it didn't happen. So I was slightly expecting family engagement, but no pressure.
Maybe next time.
So, so that's my weekend. Did obviously a bit of PT on the seafront yesterday morning. Well, actually not on the seafront, in the grounds. Do you remember that Natural History Museum we went to? The world's tiniest and most basic natural history museum in Southsea.
Felix absolutely loved that place as well. It's really good for the kids. Especially the butterfly room. There's an actual butterfly with live butterflies you can go and see. It's really cute.
Yeah. Well, so basically yesterday's PT was sort of in the gardens of that, basically.
Ooh,
so, yeah.
Nice.
So I tried really hard to do a burpee where you land on the floor on your stomach and then try and get back up again. I was needed to block and tackle to get me back off the floor. But, so yeah, that's my weekend. And I cooked a really epic roast dinner, but kind of, it was quite quiet because William has now finally officially moved to London to seek fame and fortune as an actor. Charlie's moved out. She's gone back to Manchester. And Harvey was away on some uber geek LARPing thing. Yeah. So had the place to myself. And then I didn't have my husband for company in the evening because he was gripped to listening to the Ryder Cup, the golf.
Oh, okay.
I know, dull, right? On the bloody radio. But I was very tepid about that.
Pub on Saturday and it was on TV and it was really loud. we actually had to ask them to turn it down. Because we got
Honestly,
seated in the corner at our table right next to a really big speaker, and we were just like, can't hear a thing because the golf was so loud.
I can see the joy of playing golf. Do you know what I mean? It looks like an enlarged game of snooker where you go for a nice walk. Do you know
Yeah,
what I mean? So I can see that being attractive. I can't see watching it though. It's like watching cricket.
no.
That's why they
I saw a meme the other day, and it was like, oh, men didn't want to admit they just wanted to go for a nice walk together, so they made it into a game.
Or it's a good walk spoiled, which is the other quote, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
yeah, I can see it. I don't think I'd be very good at it, but I could see the appeal of playing it. So,
Well, they're doing Oktoberfest at the local pub, which is what we went for. And I had the currywurst and a big pint of beer, which was very nice. So made up for the golf.
But yeah, I haven't really it's been a very chill weekend. I worked. The chapel was open yesterday, so the other weekend team of
Team Sunday.
Yeah, Team Sunday were there. So yeah, haven't actually caught up with them. We'll catch up this afternoon when we have our sales and marketing meeting.
We're having a monthly meeting, which will be lovely.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, that's basically my weekend. So a bit of bridal stuff, bit of work, bit of chill. Not very exciting, nothing to report, nothing very groundbreaking, but nice.
Still sounds good.
Yeah.
And we had an exciting week last week because we launched the Naughtier website, which we briefly mentioned. But then the following day we made it official on the gram, on the Naughtier Instagram.
Looks amazing. Great work, I think.
Yeah, gone down very well. We had lots of nice comments, lots of reshares of the reel. I painted my nails orange especially to make the reel to be on brand for Naughtier.
Well done. I'm saving getting my nails done till I have to get them ready for Chloe's wedding. So I am such an inveterate nail biter. I can't be bothered to pay money to pick something off before I need it.
No, fair enough. Yeah, you do tend to for the events, by the end of the day, they're gone. Even hard gels, you pick them off.
Yeah, I know. I hinge them off. It's bad. It's such a picker. It's a neurodiverse thing, I think. Do you know what I mean? It's that sensory thing of something being on your fingers, and you're like, I do appreciate it looks nice, but it's worse if they're long. And the most evil one was when I had that beautiful manicure with the pearls on for the
Oh yeah.
That was they drove me insane. It was like having a spot you'd been told you couldn't pick for a week. It's bad. Anyway, right, so our weekend catch up is good. We've actually got quite a lot of bridal fashion to talk about today, have we not?
Yes, we have. Yeah, exciting new dresses.
Well, yes, it is exciting new dresses, but it's quite theoretical. I'm going to give you quite theoretical new dresses at the moment because we haven't actually got them. Oh, good. Nothing like building demands. But anyway, but it's honestly, it's like having the trailers for Wuthering Heights and then it not being out to next February. You know, I really want to see it now.
I know, me too.
And we'll have to wait to see it next February. But trailing dresses that aren't available, it's just you just get nagged by brides then for when the things are in.
Have you got them yet?
Yeah.
When are they coming? And we don't always know exactly when they're coming either, do we?
Yeah. So no, I don't know when they're coming, but I thought it would be really good, seeing as Suzanne has put her all the images out. She sent us the drop boxes of all the images to discuss what we've ordered and what you will be able to try on at Miss Bush in the very near future. And I have seen a couple of shops getting some deliveries, so I'm assuming that we will have some deliveries quite soon, but I thought it'd be worthwhile and also quite good to reflect for people who may have not been listening to us since year one, who've only just got engaged or only just found us. Some of the information that we're about to give you, probably anyone that's listened to every episode, and bless you, there should be some kind of badge for that. I'm going to recap some of the features and benefits of Suzanne Neville just generally, because I think there's way more to her than her imagery. And I think it would be good to get under the bonnet of that a little bit.
Okay.
So, recap quickly about Suzanne Neville, the brand. So I think I'll do that to start with.
Okay.
I would say Suzanne Neville is one of the British bridal designers who possibly has transcended the fact that people have heard of her. like quite often people haven't heard of bridal brands until they get into the zone and they pick up their phone and then they become aware of brands, global brands, all sorts of different brands of like bridal wear. But I think Suzanne Neville has been established a really long time, since she was about 19, I believe, and she's probably mid-50s now. So she's been going a very, very long time. She's well known throughout the country, much loved, and has quite a unique proposition, and that all of her stuff is made to order in London. So in Harrow on the Hill. In fact, pretty much Harrow on the Hill has got two things. It's got the Harrow Boys School and Suzanne Neville. That's it. So her stuff is made, like all her garments are made there, and quite often she will be found working there, because what I love about Suzanne Neville probably the most, glossy images aside, well-known clients aside, I love the fact she's an absolute grafter. She's an engineer of fabric, and she is all over everything in terms of the technical production of her garments. She isn't a name that's put onto something that's made overseas. She's very much there working through her, with her team that she's built. And there is a video that I made where I think it was even pre-COVID, where we went to her workroom and we actually filmed inside there. So I think we can put a link to that, even though, guys listening, this is probably a 5-year-old film. It is as relevant as when I filmed it. I still have a weird asymmetrical haircut in it, and I still have like enormous boobs, so I don't look any different really. And Suzanne is one of those Dorian Gray type people. She looks the same in every single designer day we've ever had, doesn't she?
She does.
She hasn't
really
aged.
Does.
She's completely ageless, and also she doesn't look like she's had obvious work. So I don't know what it is. She just looks ageless. So I feel like I could find her pictures of her at a designer day in our old shop. So like pre-2014, and she looks exactly the same. So
it's true.
That's the thing. So huge admiration for her and her processes, the ethics of the supply chain, just everything about where they're located and how they make their dresses is very authentic, very genuinely British, and we've worked with them for nearly 20 years, so it's a very long-term relationship. We understand each other very well, and we also have one particular member of staff, Joe, who's our production manager, whose remit most Suzanne Neville dresses come under the whole time, because she's worked in wholesale, she's worked for like Philippa Lepley in the past, and a defunct label called Caroline Park. So she understands the construction of the garments. So we almost have like a dedicated Suzanne Neville technician fitter who's on speed dial with Suzanne if she needs her. So that's brilliant. So that relationship is really deeply embedded. Now comes the more challenging thing. It is like, hello Emma, you weirdo, how come you like this collection of quite classic dresses? Because you would think that they wouldn't necessarily be like immediately what I would go to. And I'm going to talk you through a dress at a time. And I know this is going to be like at length, so buckle up, people. This is a geek episode about dresses. So if you don't want to know anything, just look at the pictures that Leah's going to put up. But I'm going to take you through dress by dress, what we picked for the new collection and why. And I'm also going to give you, without any shade, some fact about some costs. And I'm going to give you some facts about why we didn't pick other dresses. And it's a taste-based thing. Like I always tell you, this isn't actual like fact. It's not empirical truth. It's my opinion and how we work with Suzanne. So so I'm going to actually run through that now with you.
Sounds good.
I know, features and benefits. It's like really puts the sales into sales and marketing. But I think it's going to be, I'm going to try and make it as interesting as possible. And I've got a little crib sheet here that's got all the pictures on it. So Leah will obviously be getting out these pictures to go with the podcast so you can see them.
Okay. Because normally I don't put the dresses out until we get them.
Well, I think we can do a little kind of
coming soon, just on the ground.
Coming soon carousel thing, yeah, maybe. Because if you want to like explain to people why we've picked certain dresses, we kind of need to illustrate it a bit, or maybe even a blog post.
I'll do a blog post. Yes, that's what I'll do.
To the blog post.
Coming soon.
Coming soon, yeah. Right, so, okay, let's start. My first dress we're going to talk about in alphabetical order then is Suzanne Neville's Aurora. Now, this is really interesting for like wedding dress geek people like myself. Imagine that two different designers were given exactly the same brief about creating an underdress and then having a full-length lace overdress to go with it. Suzanne Neville has come up with Aurora and Jesus Perot have come up with 2602. Suzanne Neville's Aurora has got a strapless, highly corseted column dress, then overlaid with a very classic French, like fine corded lace. Absolutely glorious. And also, Jesus Perot have got 2602, and they've got the most beautiful high drift spaghetti strapped soft satin dress with a really cool alternative lace. It's almost like a sort of like gauze lace over the top. And it's really interesting to see how the zeitgeist of wedding dress design moves designers in the same place, but how brands really can provide complete different iterations of this. So the Suzanne Neville Aurora dress is effectively a two-piece dress. And here's the kicker though, you can't order each bit separately. You've got to order it. You can't order the lace top separate or the lace overdress to go without the underneath dress. And I suspect that there is going to be something you could order in Suzanne's collection, which is just a plain strapless dress. But I think they are going to sort of be looking at us having that as one particular look. So Aurora in a standard size is priced at £4,688. That's for the two pieces. And even though they're coming together, they are actually two distinct different bits. So it still means that you could take off the lace dress completely, and then you have your evening dress underneath.
So you've got two looks in one, haven't you?
Yeah, so when you do the girl maths for that, it doesn't make 4,688 sound that bad, because there's no 1,500 quid second dress for the evening. You've got that kind of bit there. It also means you can protect the lace in the evening and not damage it with like vigorous dancing. Yeah, good. And you could also like, revamp the second dress with sparkly accessories or different shoes, and definitely leaves your arms free for dancing. So I think it's like really, really an amazing choice. And I think it was my favourite out of the collection because it was so, I mean, you know how I like ultra modest.
Yes.
I like a high neck dress with a long sleeve. If this had existed when I got married and I had a Suzanne Neville dress, I would have definitely had this. I do not like my boobs out.
I do love the like fluted lace of the sleeves as well. Yeah. They're kind of like a little bit that's a bit gothic for me.
It's a little bit more Tisha Adams, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So it's a really, really lovely look. And lace over the hands at the moment is really beloved by all sorts of people. So we picked this because it sort of fits in, I know, with the way our direction has been heading. And we've been doing, as you can have seen from our reels and our real brides and everything, like one dress, three looks is definitely an us thing. So again, you could take the lace overdress off, you could put a neck scarf on it, you could put a little sparkly over top, you could vamp the jewelries up, you could put a bit of Jesus Perot knitwear with it, you can do gloves, evening gloves, something like. There's so many ways that you could redress that underneath bit, but be completely modest and like appropriately dressed for church. So it's a kind of no-brainer for me, that one. I just thought it was lovely and probably my favorite look of the collection. And just a great dress. So you've got the prices there. With Suzanne Neville, you've got extra possibilities. So you can have the dress made to measure. So if you're like different size top and bottom, made to measure is 950 quid extra. If you are my shape, so if you've got something that quite profoundly takes your shape out into multiple different sizes, we always recommend having an intermediate calico fitting first to make sure that pattern is absolutely spot on, and that is £750. So the whole total for made to measure with the toile is £1,700. I would say that we would do 80 to 85% of our brides will have made to measure with the toile. We don't then charge anything extra for fittings alterations, although we should do, because it still takes Joe a huge amount of time to fit toiles and actually then fine-tune the dresses when they're in. But it is only fine-tuning. It should just be a matter of train bustles and fine-tuning the hem. And they also operate a rush fee as well. So these costs are going to apply to everything. So I'll probably won't tell you on every dress, but if you want something done in under 4 weeks, it's 20% extra. And if you want something done sort of under 12 weeks, it is 10%. So we recommend the minimum order time from when you place your order to the wedding date for Suzanne Neville to avoid any rush fees is 6 months, and that's a hard 6 months. And then with plus sizes, so up to a size 19 is included in that, and then plus sizes over a 20 to 30 plus are extra. This is usually down to like having to make quite strategic pattern adaptations for things. It feels wrong. I understand it, but I get it feels wrong. So what we do with that though is we tend to add that at cost plus VAT, because whilst that takes down our like average profit margin on the dress quite enormously, it is something that I feel awkward about, as I would certainly be over a size 19 in the size chart. So I think that's sort of it feels awkward, but I get it. But I think what would happen is generally, I would say, I think that if you were like in the olden days and you had a couture dressmaker and she had your pattern. So, like, for example, if we did one of the Suzanne Neville dresses and we did an ivory for your wedding and black for something else, you wouldn't have two pattern setup costs. You'd only have one. So I think the same thing with bridal is the thing that is always quite tricky with the costing. It is the price per wear, and the fact you're only going to buy one of these things once. So, but I think that if you're going to invest, we were just actually just gonna slightly an aside here, sidebar. We were just talking about an influencer, and you said, well, Leah said to me, I think she looks like she's wearing Suzanne Neville. I was like, no, it's not.
No.
Neckline's wrinkling, seams are wrinkling, like the straps are not looking straight. They're not cut right. No, she's definitely not wearing Suzanne Neville. I can spot a Suzanne Neville dress and it isn't that. So, I mean, it's a similar shape. So I think that the real, it is quite hard to say to people there were these additional costs. It may be of interest to listeners to know that this brand also, we have the smallest margins of anything that we sell. So nobody's getting rich on selling these. I can tell you. I mean, I think Suzanne Neville does all right, but I think they're doing bulk. I think they're doing huge business in the States. But I don't think any particular individual retailer we haven't got a lot of scope for anything in that. Everything is extra, but it is incredibly beautifully made and very ethically created. Anyway, there's the politics. You can stick that politics on everything else that I'm going to tell you, but we'll go through now dress by dress. So in your alphabet that you've got there, have you got Camille next?
Yes.
Camille.
Yep.
So Camille. Now, I at first glance, Camille could look extremely, extremely classic. It is extremely classic, but it is what things that I like about strapless. It's a strapless A-line dress, but things that we all know that I love are absolutely ruler straight necklines. So this Camille has got a ruler straight neckline, and what it has got is got the top stitch boning that has been absolutely loved on Amber and Busotti. So it's quite a fierce looking strapless. It is a kind of the Bodicea of the strapless wedding dress world. It is quite. Don't mess with me. It's got a belt on it. I don't like Suzanne Neville's covered belts there. I've put it out in the world. I don't like them at all. So you don't have to have it. You could have a buckleless in like ribbon if you wanted to that went round it, or you could just have nothing. So I'm not a fan, but Suzanne loves them, puts them on everything. So, but know that they're optional.
Yeah.
In a corset, obviously. So you've got that hard structured lace up corset, beloved of everybody. And the classic highball button back on that as well. So it is, again, one of those dresses that we pick from Suzanne Neville because, apart from the fact that I can tell it's Suzanne Neville because of the channel stitch boning, I think we can make it look very Miss Bush or very like a bride, a Miss Bush bride. So you won't necessarily look like you are wearing a flagship look. You can really personalize it with something more outrageous, more demure, more personal. But I think that's why I love the plain dresses from Suzanne Neville, because we can effectively use her superior engineering but at the same time use our styling techniques and our styling insight to create something that is very unique for clients. So that's why I love Camille. It's very good. It could have a little Nautier top with that little Nautier puff sleeve. It could have a kind of opera coat from Jesus Paro. It could have all sorts of things. So you can make it something very, well, I wouldn't say like, you don't want to be, we don't, it's kind of weird with like designer bridal gowns, isn't it? Like I can tell who's made them and I can tell if they're good or bad, but most people can't. You can just get a sense of how amazingly well fitted it looks. And I had a conversation with Suzanne when we looked at this collection launch, and I asked her if she ever featured any brides on her Instagram, on her grid, that hadn't had the full couture service, and she said no. So I feel like the way to get them right is to kind of like fully embrace that you're going to have this very old fashioned but incredible service where you have those individual patterns cut for you and they are fitted within an inch of your life, like you've been dipped in liquid fabric and hung out to dry. That is what they look like, and that's how they're so signature. But if you don't want to, but it's not like having a Gucci belt. You don't go down the aisle with a label on the outside. It is something that it should whisper who's made it. And I think then when you can personalize it, with an embroidered veil or family jewels or whatever, you really want to bring your own self, I think, to a look. I feel it's not that cool, I don't think, to look full head to toe brand bridal. I think it's good to kind of bring some eclectic looks in there. So Camille, amazing, really looking forward to getting that. The next one on my alphabetical list, I would say, would be Darling.
Yes, darling.
Which makes me laugh because the person who looks after all us retailers is a woman called Jane. We've worked with her for absolutely years, and she does use the word darling quite a lot. So much so that she may be known as Jane Darling. So she now has
named after her.
Yeah, I don't know if she knows that, but yeah, Jane Darling. I think that's what that dress should be called, actually. So it's amazing. So this is going to, Darling is going to sit in that kind of group of dresses, I would say, that is in the sort of Hayley sort of family. So square necked, sharp. This has got a very, very low, blunt, dropped waist and quite a big skirt. So it's channeling that, like, well, you can have anything you like now in bridal, so you might as well have a low waist as well. So it's channeling that sort of like 90s low, blunt waist. But again, it also feels quite timeless. The square neck is great. Again, it's going to be like, it's got a proper armhole, which means there's going to be scope for us to add sleeves, detachable sleeves if people wanted them. And we've also got a low neck, a low lace over top that we've made from Nautier with a square neck. So you could actually put a whole lace top over this as well. So I think Jane Darling is a great dress. And I feel like that is going to be beloved. But also the really good thing is, because you can do the same thing with Suzanne Neville that you can with Jesus Paro, if you loved this but you wanted it just as a regular waist, then that is absolutely possible. So you can bring it up to a natural waist if you wanted to. And again, you've got the option to put that in all their fabrics. Again, I think that this comes at a reasonably big premium, but weddings come at a reasonably big premium. I mean, I feel like it's lovely to be able to have exactly what you want rather than to compromise. So, know that that is definitely possible for you. So you can adapt and change things for Suzanne Neville, and you can again sign it off in calico first for your so that you can get that absolutely perfect fit. Darling is 4375. So again, a lot of dress. And I think for entry level, if you can fit into a standard size, then all fantastic. You can get it at standard size, but really amazing. Love it.
Okay.
And then what was our
We've
next
got
one?
Degas.
I'm having Degas. We had Degas already.
Yeah, I was joking. It's a 10L. A 10L.
Oh, a turn L. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's Degas. It's basically, it's a Degas meets Foxglove smoothie blends, basically. So, yeah, I know that sounds, again, slightly shady, But you know, you can't really have Degar now. It's been seen a lot. I mean, I love it. It's not discontinued, but basically this will reignite our kind of love for that sort of drape satin as well. It's got the shoulder drapes are detachable. So you've got basically a strapless dress there and an off the shoulder dress in one. Again, it's not exactly rocket science. We all know we can do that with most dresses, but this is actually designed to be made like that, whereas Foxglove and Degar have got fixed drop shoulders. So Eternal's got that slight V and the drape across the skirt at the front, which means everybody feels extremely protected. And it feels like if you bloat, then your tummy's not going to show. I'm going to withhold any thoughts about whether your tummy showing is a crime against, it's a sort of a gender crime, but I feel like everyone's got a tummy. I would say to girls every time I see them, it's like, you know, women, like, it's almost like that bit from your belly button to the top of your bikini line is affected by having had kids. It's affected by being premenstrual. It's affected by stress, bloating, IBS, you name it. It's affected by everything. If you've had an appendix, a C-section, whatever, it all kind of like shows up. Stretch marks, your lot. It all shows up there. Belly button, innie, outie, you know, that thing. And yet, so what we've decided collectively that we're going to put people in slim white dresses that will highlight any of those things. It's really harsh because nobody, I mean, I rarely could ever put like a spirit level across someone's hip bones and make that little bubble be in the center. So nobody's got a completely flat stomach, and yet season after season out come the dresses that make that a necessity. So great thing about having the drapes on this is doesn't matter. You can have a perfectly natural girl rounded belly, which is what every girl has, and it doesn't matter. So there we go. So Eternal is lovely. Yeah, it's very Suzanne Neville. We've had an asymmetric drape dress pretty much in her collection forever. Eternal is 365 as a standard size in the slipper satin. Again, you're made to measure with a toile. If we wanted to look at the maximum extra you could put on that for being made for you, it'd be £1,700. It's great. It's amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. It looks like that's going to be one of the dresses they get out first. I've seen some other retailers have been sent their dresses already. There is no rhyme nor reason, as far as I can see, that other people get the dresses before us. It's always been the case. There isn't a straw drop with everything going out on the same day. But again, I would say to people, if you want to buy it from Miss Bush, the reason to buy from Miss Bush is if you like the team. We're not going to discount it. You'll get the same impeccable fit dress as if you bought from Suzanne Neville directly. You would just get more of our styling ideas and the experience, the location, the geographic convenience, whatever it is. But I don't know why we haven't got ours yet. But there we go. They'll show up soon. Right. So next one. Perhaps people should actually have the blog post open while they listen to this. This would be really good. Like a sort of a read along.
Yeah.
That'll be good. Maybe you should suggest that.
I will. If you're listening to this now, it's on our website right now on the blog. I've already done it in the future.
Yeah. Ooh, I feel like I'm doing that whole like Doctor Who thing where we're like little blurry people that go forward. That's a really good. There's nothing like being organised before you actually start the podcast, is there?
I did not know we were going to be doing this today.
Well, I just thought it.
Yeah, it's good. It's a good one.
Yeah,
it's good.
Well, actually, part of it I thought because we had a question about Suzanne Neville buttons, so I'll get to that at the end as well. So the next one after the daughter of Degar, i.e.
Murray.
Oh, Murray. Now, this one is quite different. It's a bit sexual, which is not what I normally buy. Do you know what I mean? It's sexy. It is strapless, ruched, and I would say unashamedly a cocktail dress. So for me, when I looked at this dress, I was like, why do I like this? I shouldn't like something with a hole down the front and a sweetheart neck. It's not me. But I really, really liked it. I thought it was beautifully cut. And for me, this looks like a great black tie wedding dress. Like literally no church involved in this whatsoever. It's very chic. It's very kind of evening-y. I think it would also go well in colour, and bearing in mind that, you know, Suzanne Neville, as they do evening wear and they do Mother of the Bride, you can have any of the dresses made in a colour. Of course, there's a premium for that, but you could have that done in the colour. So if you were getting married and you were having a really kind of cute summer something, there's no reason why you couldn't have that dress made in pink or pale blue or silver or something. You know, it's a great dress. It was cleverly cut to get that slice down. So it's basically a strapless sweetheart with a sort of teardrop opening sort of underneath the bust and down into the torso. I just thought it was a really great cut. It's not very me, because it sort of flies against that whole like get dressed like a nun vibe. But I really think for girls that are just wanting sheer red carpet glamour and they're not going anywhere near a church, I think it would be great.
I think it's really cool. I would like to see that in black, of course.
Yeah, I would like to see it in black, actually, yeah. And what's quite annoying is I thought Freya Rose was going to have her, like, fundraiser this autumn, and she isn't. So I might have to have a Suzanne Neville one for the next time I do a fundraiser. Although, to be fair, there's a special that we've ordered for new collection, which I'd rather have in black, which I will get to shortly.
Okay.
That is what was it called again? Sorry. Oh my God, I'm so
Marais.
Marais. So that Marais is £3,488 of your pound sterling. And again, you can have it fully made to measure, and you could have it in colour for an additional price. It's not loads extra, but because Suzanne Neville makes a lot of wedding dresses, she has the capacity to buy ivory fabrics by the thousands of meters. So therefore, the cost per meter price comes down. If you're choosing a colour, they'll probably have to buy a dress length of that colour for you. So therefore, the price per meter of the fabric goes up. So that is a cost that's additional, and I completely understand it. So that is a thing. I've had a black Suzanne Neville dress before, and I used to keep it in the shop as a very useful thing for anybody that had big boobs to try it, so I could explain made to measure. So
that's great for your engagement shoot, wasn't it?
No.
No? No, it wasn't Suzanne Neville. That was Sharon Hoey.
Hoey, yeah, and a bit of Hazy Sparrow. No, the black dress I had was for Brides magazine. It was almost their last final hurrah. It was a ball down at a ball down at Chichester, at Goodwood House. Yeah.
Oh, nice. I don't know if I've seen that then. It must have done.
No, I think it was prior to Content.
Oh, was
It's
it?
quite a while, yeah.
Quite a long
it's
time
before,
ago.
yeah, like I would say that's like 2014, 15, something like that.
I was around.
Yeah, I know, but I had purple short hair.
Oh, I think I have seen a picture. There's like a picture of you and Marshy standing like in a hallway.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah. Okay.
Short purple hair.
Well, the next dress is the reason I've got Plug-in Baby stuck in my head right now.
Muse.
By Muse, yes.
Yes. Yes, Muse. It's, again, I would say that in the whole, like, Jane Darling dress, Muse, Plug-in Baby, would be something that would sit in the Hayley family. So the really sharp square neck, but this time it's made with a very fluid slipper satin with that 90s basque waist. So it's a kind of like, we know that shape has done well. We know the pattern is really good, and we know that square neck is an absolute brilliant right angle. So we know it's a great dress. It's got quite a fluid skirt. We haven't had that many fluid skirts in Suzanne's collection in slipper satin. So that's quite new. I can imagine what passes for new in our world. It's not like splitting the atom or like a leap forward in AI. It's a fluid satin. It's a fluid satin skirt, but I think a fluid satin onto that drop waist with that really commercially successful square neck is going to be a great addition to put in the shop with the Haleys and the Bisottis and the Moonlights, which are already like part of the existing collection. So I think that would be very good. So very nice. Let me give you a little price for that one so that you know. As you're going to be able to see that with these prices is basically if you haven't got probably $4,500 to $5,000 in your budget, I probably would walk away from Suzanne Neville because their starting price now is all over $3,500. And even if you go standard size, you're going to have to get someone to fit it, and that's not going to come into you for less than £500. So I think really, if you need any bit of tweaking or any, I just think it's now, if your budget if you don't feel comfortable about spending $4,000 to $5,000, I suggest having a look at, Hazy Sparrow or somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Or maybe looking at something that we don't do that's quite mass market, maybe less silks, maybe less flexibility, but it's got the structure in it. So, but I think the combination, as I've said before, and I really want to support British manufacture because it's part of what we need to do in this country, is to not have fake patriotism, but what we need to do is genuinely like be determined to support British industry. And Suzanne is a homegrown British industrial like superstar, like formed from a grant with the Prince's Trust back at the tender age of 19, and she's a success story. And I think we have to be realistic that like my Tesco's rant last week, everything has just gone up.
Yeah.
So you're just going to have to be like, well, I've either got that money or I haven't. So there we go. But yeah, so Muse, really beautiful, very excited about seeing that. Very fluid, very, very beautiful dress. I'm glad that you're doing the alphabeticals on this. So
Yep.
what were we now?
Sylvain.
Sylvain. Okay, Sylvain is out of, again, another little story that's very common with Suzanne Neville, which is the circular organza skirt, which is on Hayley. It's on Miltonia. It's been on lots of dresses in the past. Loads of old ones I could think of, but we could almost, Leah and I could almost do a family tree for it.
We
And this
could.
to get that, and here is the son of this and the daughter of that. And you could actually do like a family tree for how we got to Sylvain.
That dianthus like neckline, isn't it? But with
Yeah,
the
slightly
lace.
less sharp than dianthus, but yeah. So again, you've got that sort of that. People do love organza skirts, even though our organza skirts at the moment in the shop need a jolly good steaming, and they kind of tend to grow in length in the shop as well, so they're circular. So I probably need, when everybody's back from holiday, like production people, which is this week, they're all gonna have to get a little bit of a makeover, these organza skirts of ours. So. But Sylvain's beautiful. So, like again, soft draped satin. So, better daughter of Degas on the bodice a little bit, with a little inset of lace just to give some trim. So again, that would look really nice if you wanted to pair it with a lace veil or something. So you can just bring in touches of lace into that, or little lace over top or jacket. So amazing, very beautiful. And then Sylvain price wise is 3738. I feel like this giving out prices reminds me of when I used to stock, like back a million years ago, Maggie Sotero dresses. We used to go to a fashion show, and it was the most kind of like boring thing ever. You'd be going, and this one comes in ivory and sheet, 3,708. And you'll be like, oh my God, like literally, I'm so bored. Can you just make it a punchy fashion show? Then I will go and find the
Make it
ones I like.
more like
No,
bingo calling.
it wasn't even like it was just like, this one's available in ivory white, ivory pink, pink, pink. You'll be like, oh God, it was
That
terrible.
sounds terrible.
It was a true shocker. And also with them, because they put such high quantities you had to buy, so you knew while you were doing it as well that you were buying dresses you'd no intention of selling or putting on the shop floor. That's that kind of really dirty supply chain. Which is why I do like being able to pick and choose with Suzanne Neville what dresses we want. So,
Yes.
and it's not a very big order. And because you can combine all of the dresses with all of the existing styles, you have got way more choice than just 8 dresses, basically. So, so finally in our alphabetical then is Selene.
Selene.
Yeah? So, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure where the names come from. I guess after 30 years, it's quite hard to keep coming up with new names for dresses. I think that's why I quite like the Jesus Perot serial numbers. They don't ever feel icky. Selene's fine. It's an okay name. I don't have a major problem with the name Selene. So Selene is, apparently we missed one of the bestsellers this year of Suzanne Neville's a long sleeve lace dress. But such is their capacity not to be able to do extra samples, it's if you miss it, you've missed it. Yeah, basically. And they don't really have. They're one of the few companies, I would say, low tech doesn't even come close to how they are. We have to still write orders on paper and put them in a post in an envelope with a stamp on.
I did not know that. Oh my goodness! Wow.
Yeah, like a birthday card. So basically, yeah, we have to do that. So I suspect for that reason, they don't necessarily have immediate data available to track things. but maybe they've got like maybe they've got an abacus somewhere. Every dress has got
File of facts.
a different colour bead, and then when they But as I say, so I missed a lace bestseller. So we've bought this one, Suzanne. It is a sexy. It's sexy. I'm not sure that I like. Do you know what I mean? I was like, I bought a sexy lace dress with obvious cups in it. So I'm like, well, I've bought a sexy lace dress. We'll see if it works. It's really beautiful. It's got a slight contrast with the underneath fabric, so you can really see the depth and the structure of the lace. Now, generally speaking, I know we just talked about the erratic delivery of samples, but generally speaking, lace ones tend not to be one of the early ones, because what they tend to do, and this is like how designers work, is they will do a sample dress, and they will have got a sample length of fabrics. This Suzanne is really lovely. But what I'm saying is they've probably got if people order it, then they don't tend to go and buy millions of meters of the lace until they know how many dresses they're going to buy. Because if none of us liked it, nobody bought it, there would be no point buying the fabric. So you tend to find that lace is quite slow on delivery. So when we get things, it is very difficult to kind of predict when you're going to get the lace in. So sometimes if it goes out of stock, it can take a while to come in. And particularly with someone who the buying power of Suzanne, she may be getting bespoke fabrics that nobody else has got, in which case we just have to wait for it to arrive. So Suzanne is really good. It's that little top bit. It's got sleeves on it, which is detachable. And Rosie, basically, it's Suzanne, the dress, the strapless dress, is £4,625. The little sleevey shrug thing is separate. And Rosie has said, so basically what the sleeves should be, if you're going to add the sleeves to the dress, should be somewhere in around about £9.50. So about a similar sort of price to a lace jacket from us as well.
Yeah, there's no images of the dress on its own though in the lookbook folder, which is a shame because they are a separate item.
Yeah. Be something for content, I guess.
Yeah. Yes, we could do it at our next content day.
Yeah. I don't know. They've sent videos, and I haven't actually looked at the videos yet either. The images only came in on Friday, so I haven't actually looked at those. But that's Len lace. Yeah. So you've got the option to have with or without sleeves on that one.
It's quite good. Change it, take it off after you've been to the ceremony.
Yeah, absolutely. And then there is a not included in their collection, because it's something that we've had done for us, is fluorescence is one of the current season dresses, which we love. Square neck, long sleeve lace, and with a big A-line skirt with a kind of wrap, split in it. So we've also ordered for us a fitted fluorescence, so very much like an amber shape, but in the fluorescence fabric, which I think will be absolutely gorgeous. And that will be, I say it'll be exclusive for us. I have no idea if it's exclusive for us. And certainly anybody could order it, but it's one that I wanted to have as a sample, because we did think we were missing some fitted laces, and that's one look that we thought would be really lovely to have. So we've got that. So
very nice.
That is going to be 4,875 as a standard. Obviously, then think about having your added extras.
And that's with a completely straight skirt without the split. That's nice.
That'll be good. Again, one will have to photograph on content rather than having an actual Suzanne Neville.
There are quite a few things in our collection right now where we have had them made differently, so the images aren't how they look on the website. I've had to put notes on so many of the dresses, like, our sample has this, but you can have it as it is in the image.
It's just very if there's something doesn't work for your client base, there's no
you know what they like.
It's a lot easier to actually get it made in a fabric that works to start with. So I think it's very good. So I feel like that's actual fact there I've given people today. So if they could have a little look along to the images along with the podcast and the narration of what we've got coming. Obviously, as soon as anything arrives, we will put it on our grid, and we will also, if anybody's on our mailing list, we will be adding new dresses to mailers to let people know that they're in. This year, we have normally done an annual Suzanne Neville Designer Day, which was great all the time that she would do Wednesdays and Thursdays because it didn't break into our weekend. Last year we did a Saturday, which we weren't so keen on because I feel like Saturdays need to be a broad sweep of all the brands we do. So also our Suzanne Neville days, it cost us a small fortune. Not going to lie, by the time you've had an arch, catering, you give things away, you offer special offers to get people to buy it. Given that I've had the instruction that I have to increase my margins by 8% and cut 8%, I think a Suzanne Neville Day is not what we need this year. And increasingly, it feels like people weren't that bothered about meeting her. Whereas before, it was like wheeling out like Lady Gaga or insert whoever iconic Susie Sue that you want to kind of thing. So I don't know whether that is a permanent thing. I have no idea. But I guess with Suzanne's marketing, she doesn't really build a cult of personality in the same way that I was able to reference millions of different haircuts I've had, because you stick my picture over everything all of the time. Whereas I guess Suzanne is, she is a person. She exists. Her name is on the label. But I guess that like star vehicle, I mean, their marketing team really use the dresses as the star rather than Suzanne herself. I think she's very proud of what she would have done. I would say it would be a stretch to say like she wouldn't be completely self-effacing, but it's not like me first. Whereas like if you think of say Kate Halfpenny's label, you think of her face before the dresses. Whereas I think with Suzanne Neville, you think of the dresses before the designer.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I'm not sure that unless she like manifests a Wednesday or Thursday for us and we can do a sort of low key one, I feel like it's probably not going to be a thing this year. And as I say, when we give things away, we can't discount the dresses because they are on a scrawny margin. So it's not, we can't really like if we offer a discount on the dress, we are literally, already making less money on those dresses than we do on all the rest of our brands, so you can't really discount them. So but we want to support British made things. Do you know what I mean? It's like we want to champion that, and we want everyone to see how good they are.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things. I don't suppose you could go anywhere where anything's made to order and be like, yeah, what's your best price, mate? Do you know what I mean? It just feels a bit like, well, you could do it if you were ordering 50.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, okay, if you give me an order for 50, I can probably do something on that. But you're ordering one dress, and it's the same with us. Like, on a good year with Suzanne Neville, we might do sort of like 100 dresses. It's still not that much.
No.
That's a big we're not like the biggest stockists. I mean, we sell more Jesus Pero dresses, but I'm just so fond of that structure and that craft and that technical ability. Engineering is unbelievable. So I do encourage people to come and look at our new collection and shop there with us to get the unique spin that we would bring to it.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like when we sell Suzanne Neville dresses, everybody is different. Like they've always got something that's like the Miss Bush edition. Like if it's some sleeves or it's a veil or just a slight tweak. Like there's always a little bit of personality to it.
And also I think that the other dresses in the collection we didn't choose. It's not because they're not beautifully made and lovely, but we don't really do very well with sparkle or fuss, and I really struggle to sell people things with visible bra cups. So like your boob show. So there's some things like that. She also does incredibly well, but I don't find that something that me and my clients gel with really well. No. So, but they are beautiful.
I've not actually looked at the rest. I just looked at what we ordered. I'm just having a little scroll now.
I think you could see. I think you could go and do our buy if you had to.
I think I could, yeah.
Anyway, right, there we go. I've done geeky. I've done no politics really there. That's good.
Just a tiny sprinkle.
Oh, we did have one little question actually about buttons for Suzanne Neville dresses.
Yes,
somebody was saying that they're not that easy to do.
The question is, tips for doing up the loops on Suzanne Neville. Jesus Pero are easier. I use a hairpin or a hook. Any other tips?
I would say what you've got to do, firstly, is if the bride is bring whoever's coming with you who's getting you dressed on the day, bring them with you to a fitting. What we tend to do is you have an inner corset in Suzanne Neville dresses, which is a little lace up piece, and we measure the exact gap that you have to leave that lace up. So that means that really you shouldn't struggle to do the buttons, because once that lace up underneath thing is done correctly to the gap that Joe has predetermined, the button loops simply should be laying over the buttons. So there's no way on earth you should be having to pull the button loops or the buttons, because I horrifically think you could snap a button off or snap a loop. So your dress the Suzanne Neville dresses are not fitted by the buttons. The buttons are there to hide the lacing.
Yeah. So for this person, if they're struggling, they might just say, you know what, you might need to lace it a bit tighter.
Yeah. And also, what I do when I'm putting people in the shop, and I don't know how I'm going to be able to explain this verbally when it's quite a visual thing, I do not pull on the buttons or the loops. I pull the dress, so the buttons and loops lay over each other, or like the loop lays over the button, and then it's very easy just to put the loop around the button with your thumb. So you need those loops. You cannot pull the button and you cannot pull the loop, because you will snap them. And similarly, if you use a crochet hook or something like that, their loops are not elasticated, so you're only just going to put too much like lateral strain on them. So you've got to be really careful. And someone who's getting you dressed needs to come and to your fitting, and you cannot leave it to your hairdresser or your makeup artist or any other person that gets given that role on the day, because the fit of those dresses, how your boobs sit in them, how they look at the back, everything is down to how that inner corset fits. And if someone's been sold something as a standard size and it's too tight and you're having to strain the buttons to pull it on, that isn't the right fit.
No. Okay. Yeah. So your hairdresser should not be doing your buttons up for you. You should have someone assigned to that job.
Yeah. And
already.
You should have a piece of paper which is what Joe gives people, a comp slip with an exact biro lines of how wide that lacing should be at the top and the bottom of the
lines. Okay, we need to design a new comp slip that has a ruler on it that Joe can give specially. Actually has the ruler on it.
Yeah.
Oh, I
so
really
she
measures. Ruler.
Yeah, okay, that would be a thing. Yeah,
cute.
Just be like, this is how wide your lacing should be. Yeah, so it's very important. Those buttons are there really just to close the fabric over the inner workings of the dress, in the same way that the Jesus Perot ones are, because the Jesus Perot dresses are done up by their zip, and then the buttons should just lay over their loops because they're there just to conceal the zip.
Okay. Oh, that's a very good answer.
Isn't it? It's like I know stuff.
Yeah, I know. Okay, great. There was another question about bras, but I feel like we could do that next week, because we've done this is an hour. This has been our longest in a while, so hopefully not too boring for people that aren't interested in Suzanne Neville.
Oh my God, you just know Suzanne Neville one of the Suzanne Neville team might even listen to this, and other stockists will probably listen to it. So they may agree, disagree with what I'm saying. They'll definitely know that the Darling dress should be called Jane Darling, though.
Oh, I love that. That's cute.
All right.
Okay, right. Please, people, send us some questions for next week.
Yes, absolutely.
We're not getting many questions, are we? People just aren't sending any. So we would love some questions.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll just get us.
Yeah. All right. Just waffle on about what we've been up to.
All right, guys. We'll see you next week.
See you next week. Bye-bye. Bye.